Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about some more positive news for Tesla stock. So with these videos, I always like to discuss some recent news that was released around Tesla, and as we know, that all relates to Tesla stock as well. Anytime that you see some really significant news around Tesla, you may see a correlation between that and the stock price rising. Now, that's not always the case. That's usually associated with just earnings reports, stock split announcements, beating expectations, and things like that. So news like this doesn't really apply to the movements to the stocks as much. It doesn't create like a visual movement that you can actually recognize and attribute it to this piece of news. But regardless of that, I think it's important to keep up with these news pieces, because if you do so and you're able to keep up with what's constantly happening with Tesla, whether it's even small things such as job listings about vehicle design in China, or if it's new job listings for solar installations in other locations across the world. Although those news pieces may seem small if you single it out, when you really start making inferences and thinking about what that could lead to in the future, then that's where you really start getting some perspective that a lot of your typical retail investors in the stock market won't understand or be knowledgeable about it. So of course we know a lot of the institutional investors are keeping up with this. However, it seems like the trend so far with Tesla is that retail investors have been much more knowledgeable on Tesla stock in terms of predicting it growing much more in the future. As we know, the institutional investors have been a lot more bearish. But what I'm saying here is when you keep up with these small news pieces, big or small, you can start making inferences based off of those news pieces. For example, like with the new job listings for vehicle design in China, you can start thinking about, okay, are they starting to plan on designing a new compact car for China? As we know, Elon Musk has discussed in the past that that is something they'd like to do sometime soon. So that's just an example of things that you can be thinking about. And like with the solar panel installation job listing example, that goes along with expansion into the solar aspect and energy aspect of Tesla, aside from just what they're doing with vehicles right now. So as we know, Tesla is not just an automotive company. We know that they are much more than vehicles. They're into solar panels, they're into batteries, and we're even talking about large-scale grid batteries. We're talking about the mega packs that they release, and that's actually what this video is going to be about. So Tesla is just much more than a vehicle company, and I think as time goes on, we're going to start seeing more expansion, as discussed in this article as well that we'll be talking about today, into the other sectors of Tesla. Not only just the vehicle sectors, but we're talking expansions into the solar business and expansions in the battery business as well. And by battery business, I'm talking about sourcing batteries to other vehicle companies. And then I'm also talking about selling and producing the battery packs, so the power walls for like customers that own Teslas. You can install that in your home. And then I'm also discussing like very large scale batteries, which is what this video is going to be mainly about. Now, we've seen that with the Hornsdale power plant in South Australia. That was one of Tesla's biggest projects in terms of just the mega packs. And so, like I said, that's what this video is mainly going to be focused on, which is the battery aspect of the Tesla business. This is aside from vehicles and everything like that. And I feel like it's important to at least discuss these things and keep up with this news, because I feel like in the future, these are going to be bigger parts of Tesla's business than people realize. And that's why so many investors find a lot of value in Tesla, because they see it as more than just a car company. They see it as more than just a battery company. They see it as more than just a solar company. It is all three of those things combined, plus much more. As we know, they've vertically integrated so many things like their own computer chips, and then they also get revenue from software as a service. So it's untelling what Tesla will be able to monetize in the future with their business. So like I said, these various sections and aspects of Tesla's business is a big potential revenue maker in the future. And as we know, it's slowly growing the revenue right now, but as time goes on and on and on, and as we get more Tesla Gigafactories across the world, more employees, bigger teams, and things like that, then Tesla can grow those sections of that business even more. And so basically the importance of me sharing even the small pieces of news, and I would actually consider this more than just a small piece of news. I think it's pretty significant. But the importance in these news videos is that when you keep up to date with Tesla, especially when we're talking about looking every single day on the news websites and looking at all aspects of their business aside from just the vehicles as well, but when you keep up with things like that, you get a lot more insight for the future. and that gives you some more information to make your purchasing decisions. So if you think Tesla is really going to capitalize on a lot of these businesses in the future, then that gives you the opportunity and choice to buy when you want to buy. And if you think you're ahead of the game in terms of knowledge about the company, then you can choose to buy at that point, and you'll likely have a head start compared to other investors that are just waiting for the huge news pieces to drop where it pretty much, skyrockets the stock and we see an actual notable movement, whereas these news pieces are going under the radar, and they're things that some people are definitely missing out on. Whereas when you keep up to date, even with the small pieces of news, you can kind of get ahead of the game. So anyways, now that that is out of the way, let's go ahead and check out this article by Electric, and then I'll expand on it a little bit more and give my thoughts on it. So this article was released just a few days ago. It's actually pretty recent, and it states Tesla deploys batteries at oil-rich Qatar's first solar/storage project. So as it states, Qatar is known for being in a region where oil is very popular. That general location is well known across the world for providing oil. And so oil has always been a huge revenue opportunity for them in terms of business. And so for us to see Tesla actually deploying batteries in this region, it's like the final major signal that this EV transition is happening. Not only EV, but just electric transition. We're going from oil and gas engine vehicles to EVs and electric. So we are seeing this transition happening, and solar panels are getting more and more popular as time goes on, as they become cheaper and cheaper and easier for Tesla to produce it at large scale rates. So if you're someone that's really excited about this transition to renewable energy, then this is huge news in itself, aside from just Tesla being involved. But what's really important here, especially for Tesla investors, is Tesla's involvement in this. So as we know, Tesla has some of the best batteries in the world. So as it states, they've deployed batteries at this location as a solar and storage project. So let's get into this a little bit more and see what it has to say. And as always, of course, thank you to Electric and author Fred Lambert for the information. And it actually states in this article that this is their country's first solar and storage project. So this is huge in itself in terms of this transition actually happening. And it states that the Qatar General Electricity and Water Corporation noted it as a pilot project to store electrical energy using batteries. So this sounds very similar so far to the experience with the Hornsdale battery project, where they're basically using the Tesla megapacks to power the grid. And so right here is a direct quote that states, the Qatar General Electricity and Water Corporation launched the first pilot project to store electrical energy using batteries in the state of Qatar in cooperation with Al Attiyah Group and Tesla Corporation, where the batteries were connected to a substation connected to the local Nuaja station on a voltage of 11 kilovolts and are controlled by the Control Center of Distribution Control Center. I gotta admit, that's kind of a weird name. Control Center of Distribution Control Center. That's a little bit strange. But this article states that they are using Tesla power packs for a total of 1 megawatts or 4 megawatt hour capacity. I'm assuming that's what it means. I don't know much about all this electric stuff. And so just continuing on further, it says that they will use Tesla batteries to flatten peak demand. And a direct quote states, this pioneering project, the first of its kind in Qatar to store energy using batteries, aims to secure production capacity at peak times to raise energy efficiency and enhance sustainability. And then it also states that if the project is successful, that they may consider doing other similar large projects as well. So basically, if this works out as a success between Qatar and Tesla, then they'll consider doing more in the future. So this is actually a really big thing, and it could be a driver for more projects happening in the future. So all of this depends on this being successful. So this is actually pretty huge news in the sense of just that alone, because that means if it works out well for them, then they will continue trying more projects like that, which in turn means more revenue for Tesla. And if they keep doing more and more projects and it keeps being successful and successful over time and time again, then the rest of the world will take a look at that, consider it, and then there's more potential projects and revenue for Tesla and other countries and locations. So it's a win-win if it's successful, because that means more revenue for Tesla, and it's also renewable energy for locations like this that would really help propel the transition to renewable energy. So this is actually huge if it is successful, and that's why I think this news piece is important to pay attention to, because I'm really interested in seeing what happens out of this and if it does become successful, which I likely think it will be. And so a final statement says the use of energy storage systems in power grids, parentheses batteries, is considered one of the global systems to raise energy efficiency and enhance sustainability. The importance of the success of this pilot project lies in opening new prospects and avenues to engage in larger projects in the future by connecting them to some high load stations in the network and integrating them with strategic projects for renewable energy, such as Al Kharsa solar power project. And so the article basically ends right there, but it did mention at the end that Tesla is accelerating this expansion with deployment of over 400 megawatts per hour every single quarter. So just with this article alone, it's showing this transition happening, and all of this does rely on the success of the project. As it stated right in that article, they would consider doing much larger projects if this one does turn out to be successful. So a lot is really banking on this one to be successful right now, and I think with Tesla being involved as well, I'm really glad that Tesla is being involved rather than another company, because if there's any company to try something like this and for this renewable energy transition to rely on one company, I would rather it be Tesla than another one. And I have a lot of faith in Tesla making this be successful. So as I said earlier, we're seeing this across the world right now. I think there's been discussion of a project in California as well regarding the mega packs. Keep in mind, these mega packs are actually really expensive because you have like huge organizations and governments ordering them. It's not just something people could casually afford, like $2,000, $3,000. It's actually a significant amount of revenue just per one mega pack. For example, a mega pack project in Canada was actually $1.5 million for the cost of everything. So that's actually a lot of revenue for Tesla. So as we get farther into this energy transition, I think there's a lot of revenue to be made by Tesla because they are the company on the forefront of this transition right now. Whereas it's pretty difficult to think of any other company that offers the same service that you can actually list off of the top of your head that's actually a notable company like Tesla. So anyways, I just wanted to share this video with y'all. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure to smash that like button if you did. And also feel free to sign up to Robinhood and Webull in the description below. If you sign up with my referral link, then you'll get some free stocks. And especially with Webull right now, if you sign up with my link and then deposit $100, you'll get 2 free stocks. And you can actually take that $100 right back out. So it's just passive income. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.